everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead, Season 11, the final season, Episode 5, entitled Out of the Ashes. Gary, what are your overall thoughts?
I think we're back on track. I think this is going to turn out to be a pretty good season after all. Last episode I was feeling, but like I said, it was a typical Daryl episode. We're back.
Yes, indeed, we are back. Last week, as you all know, or if you recall, I did not like last week's episode.
Oh, we know.
But this week, I enjoyed it. Like, when it was off, I was like, no, it's over. And I loved it. I will say I loved it. And actually, Gary, we'll see as we talk, but I don't have any dislikes written down.
Really?
Yeah. Even though some of the things the characters did, I didn't necessarily agree with, but I didn't have like any.
But it wasn't a dislike.
Yeah, it wasn't really a dislike.
Okay.
It was like, well, I get the conversation. I get it both sides, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so first on the likes list, we have Aaron's nightmare. Well, when it first started off, I was like, wait, how'd he end up here in the woods? And why he got his baby with him? And then once a walker came, I was like, why are you acting scared over one walker? He was acting scared, but he was kind of like, okay, stand back, Gracie. I'm like, it's just one walker.
Yeah, keep walking.
Yeah, but then when the whisper came, I said, oh, it's a nightmare. But I still liked it. I still liked that whole scene.
A wolf came first.
Oh, wolf. I'm sorry. Yes.
Right. Because
you're like, is that a wolf? And I'm like, yeah. And then it was a whisper, and a couple other whispers. Oh, no, savior, and then some whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once all those popped up, I was like, okay, this is a nightmare. And I like that because it doesn't show enough. I mean, once in a blue moon, someone will get PTSD and start going off the rails or whatever. But I like seeing this side. Like, it's so realistic that they would be having nightmares.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, I would have a nightmare, you know, just possibly watching the show. You could have a nightmare just watching it. But to live that life, yeah.
And I was thinking, is there a possibility that we can see wolves again? Because they never really killed the wolves off. They just ran away.
You're absolutely right. Well, I never thought we would see whispers again. And then here they were.
Right.
So, all right. The Commonwealth orientation, the commercial, and hearing that they're 50,000 strong. I mean, I was getting a little bit of Georgetown back when the governor was there? I was getting a little bit of those vibes because remember we saw Civilization look good and it was really sinister behind the scenes. But in this case, I liked it.
It was too Truman Show for me. It just seemed like or what's the other thing called with the good wives or housewives?
Stepford Wives. Yeah.
It was that feeling for me. It seemed like it was a whole bunch of actors in place.
That's a possibility. I mean, we'll talk about one of the characters that is she acting, is that really her? But I liked it because I guess especially with everything going on in the real world, I just kind of want like a wholesome community. You know, wouldn't it be nice if the world was wholesome and people were baking cakes and there's not all that hate and racism and homophobia and all that. Not saying they don't have it there, but the commercials will me in because I'm like, I would love society like that. Just like a nice, wholesome, kids are getting ice cream cones and there's no violence. I like it. It may not be real, but I like it. All right, when Princess told, is it Yumiko, I believe. I might be pronouncing her name wrong, but when she was like, oh, fancy, it must be the accent. That's why Princess just says whatever's on her mind, and she's just always great.
The accent make everything sound better.
It does, because even the whole time the brother was talking, I was like, yes, I'm like hanging on to every word.
Yes, why be a doctor when you can bake cakes?
Right.
He's right.
Maggie and Negan tag teaming the walkers. I like that.
Yeah, it seems like they're on the same page.
Yeah.
I think Negan wants like clarification, like what are we? Like we in a relationship? Is this a relationship? What are we right now?
It's funny that you say that because at one point when they got to the safe house or wherever they're held up right now, at one point when they like started tussling a little and he kind of like slammed her back on the wall, like just, you know, he wasn't trying to hurt her, but he was just slamming her back on the wall and they stared at each other. I was like, are they about to kiss?
No.
I'm like, Maggie, you can't do that.
I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Okay, I mean, for a second, I was like, no, it'd be too weird. It'd be so disrespectful for Glenn. Like, no one would ever like it.
Hey, Glenn's dead.
No, but it would just...
disrespectful for Glenn.
It would just be wrong
I don't think he would know.
Hook up with your husband's murderer.
Right.
So, But for a moment, I was thinking that, like, what is up with their vibe right now? I don't even get what they
That's
are.
why sometimes you gotta go with the flow. You don't need clarification. You don't even know what we are. I mean, we're killing walkers at the same time. We're killing the same walker at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, she killed a guy that was behind you, a walker that was behind you.
Yeah.
So the trust is there. I don't need you to tell me what we are right now. I mean, the vibe is everything. Yeah. We're vibing right now.
Right. And that's funny you brought up the walker behind him, because that was the next, like when he was like, man, you could have put me down already, da-da-da, and they're staring at each other. It was almost like, Negan, you talking this crap saying, why didn't you put me down already? But when it actually comes down to it, you wouldn't really just let her put you down.
Yeah, he was big scared.
Yeah, he was big scared. So I actually really like that scene. I mean, it's weird because I never thought I would like Negan like years ago, but it shows you like anyone can grow on you, I guess, because I'm like, Maggie.
You know what?
Maggie, just leave him alone, let him be.
I think we liked him right away. We liked the character.
Well, we liked the character right away, and as the villain. I didn't ever see him joining our group, and like how Carl's dream or whatever, Carl's wish of them all being together eventually.
Yeah. It
seemed so unrealistic and like a pipe dream. But now here we are, like 10 years later, you can see that it could possibly happen if everyone just stops the bullshit and like gets along.
Yeah. Because right now life is too short. I mean, you heard Princess when they said like 5 weeks. She said that's like years.
Yeah, you're right. I liked when she said, I mean, anytime Princess talks, it's just so, I just smile like a proud parent. Like, I'm happy for the actress seeing her on there. I'm happy for the character because she's been alone. So I'm actually surprised if she goes back with them, if they end up leaving, because honestly, she doesn't know them super, super well. And how could you give up something that good? Right now, everything looks good. To say, hey, go back out with us. Come back to Alexandria. It's like, why would I go back to the unknown?
I think she'll go back.
I think she will too, because she seems loyal and she's like, these are my people.
Right.
But in my mind, part of me was just thinking like, yes, I'm so glad Princess has a home now.
Well, you see, even in Commonwealth, she's still with her people. She's still with us.
Yeah.
Like, she ever said, oh, y'all gonna do your own thing. It's like, when you go like orientation to a job, go to college, school, whatever, and the group you come in with, your OT people, your orientation buddies, I mean, those are the people you kind of stick to throughout the entire time you're there. Like, oh, we came in here together, unless one of them just like so out there, so
right,
you may tell people like, yeah, we came in together, we was in the same, but you don't really kick it with them.
It's sort of like that in my job now. Like, a few people that I went to orientation with years ago, like if we see each other at a conference or something, like, hey, just that familiarity. Yeah, we haven't seen each other in a while, but there's still always that connection that we did something together. We went to we survived orientation.
Right.
All right. So this one was more you, but you brought it up while we were watching, and that's the flies and the bugs flying around the walkers. Yeah,
it's been a while since we haven't seen that.
I don't think we've ever seen it.
I think we've seen it before, but it wasn't on this show. It wasn't on The Walking Dead. It's probably on the Fear.
Okay. Yeah, because it showed flies and, bugs following around a walker, which makes sense. Like, we should see a lot more flies.
We should see that.
Realistically.
We should see flies flying around people.
All the time, yeah, because they stink.
Right.
And they're all dirty. Because actually, they stink so bad, I could just tell. The whole episode, I was like, why does Princess and why do they all have their same clothes on? Like, every time it showed the king, I was like, your outfit looks so uncomfortable. It looks like it's been on you for years.
It has.
Just rip that shit off. Why didn't they take a shower before?
Like Princess still wearing a fur coat. Like, what's the weather like in the Commonwealth?
Yeah, because we saw people with skirts and t-shirts and so.
Yeah, but we should see people like swatting at their face all episode.
Yeah, but maybe the Commonwealth is cleaner because they're keeping it, there's no walkers.
Yeah, you remember that commercial? It wasn't a commercial, but it was something on YouTube when the dude was trying to do a report and net said,
yeah.
He was like,
and it flew in his mouth or something.
He was like,
and he started cussing.
Damn, this country ass town. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of this country ass town.
That was funny.
We should see more of that in Walking Dead.
Right.
We should see Carol trying to give a speech. Just like,
right.
fly just flew in my mouth.
Or someone scratching from a mosquito bite. Or that's kind of dangerous. A mosquito bite, actually? Could a mosquito infect? I guess that would be too deep, but it seems like
too deep.
No, because people get mosquito, like there's dangerous mosquitoes here in the real world. Like, can't you get like, I don't want to make up the wrong disease, but you can get certain diseases from a mosquito bite from certain parts of the world.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for a fact, but it sounds right.
Yeah, it's definitely right. I just don't know which disease it is, which is why mosquito bites aren't as harmless in certain places.
So you think a mosquito could probably bite a walker?
Yeah, and then come bite you.
And bite you.
And it seems like you'd be infected.
Well, I don't think it works like that. Because remember, King Ezekiel was affecting like the pigs with zombie blood.
Right.
And the saviors were still eating it, and they weren't really getting sick.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's not a secondary source. It has to be direct, like a direct source from the actual walker. That's the only way it happens.
Right.
Which makes sense, because then if not, everyone would be dead, because the mosquitoes, you would have to have mosquito bite by now. All right, Judith teaching the little kids how to fight. I loved it with their little sticks, and I'm like, somebody got to be doing the good work, because when Aaron sent Gracie down to the basement, I'm like, I hope she has a weapon down there.
And I hope there's other people with her.
Yeah, because why would you want her gone by herself?
But I'm pretty sure that's where they send all the kids.
Maybe.
Like, y'all go run to the basement. If anything happens, don't open the door. If you got to protect yourself, there's probably things in there, or Judith's probably protecting them all.
Yeah. In a way, I like the scenes in Alexandria, seeing like all the different families and different houses. But at the same time, I'm like, I would want my privacy. Like,
yeah, I forgot how ghetto Alexandria was. Yeah, when they put that wall back up, seeing all the graffiti, I'm like, oh, it's so ghetto here.
No, but when Jerry got up and he had to like step over people, I'm like, are those your kids or like
over your cousins,
several people living
members
in this house with you? Because, dude, I mean, I understand that you got to do what you got to do in the times, but I like need my privacy. Right. I want to wake up and it just be our family, not like a whole bunch of people. Every time.
Like, how do we decide who gets to bed? Yeah. Paper, rock, scissors every night.
Yeah, and then people all up in Judith's house doing shit, like, you know, tearing up her toys and shit. I'm like, who are y'all? Y'all go to your own house. What y'all doing in my living room?
Everybody live together.
Yeah.
It's so ghetto. You stepping over cousins, relatives, aunts, uncles.
It's like Christmas without the presents.
Right.
It's only the bad parts of Christmas.
Bad parts, yeah. Go outside.
Every day.
Graffiti. Somebody
done broke your toy. Somebody came over.
Somebody done broke in.
Yep.
Like, them walkers just walking around. And, you know, I kind of call bullshit on that. Of the walkers just walking in. Mm-hmm. No, we didn't call bullshit on the walkers getting in, because there's chances that anything could be infiltrated. Yeah. You could get in. But I call bullshit on the one guy that got killed by the single walker.
Yes. How? It's not like the walkers are quiet. And then you also call bullshit on whoever was on guard duty.
Yeah, who was on watch.
Right. Because it shouldn't be Jerry peeing and then still happening looking out the window to see walkers have came in.
Yeah, someone should have heard the wall fall.
Yeah.
And someone should have called it in.
Yeah. Please tell me they're not all sleeping at night. It should be like several shifts.
It looks like it. So whoever was supposed to be on watch at that moment, we need to have words.
Right. All right, Judith putting that little boy in place. I thought she was going to go full Carl on him. Remember when Carl killed his first kid?
His first kid.
I was like, damn, Judith is about to go full Carl and kill him, because he was talking so much shit and they were being so stupid. Like, and I understand kids do stupid things, but these are not average. These shouldn't be your average kids. A 14-year-old shouldn't be doing what a 14-year-old does in the real world. Right. Maybe a 5-year-old or, you know, like or someone Judith's age should be doing what stupid teenagers do now, because realistically they all should be very much more like Judith. They should be much more mature.
Right. I mean, you're right. I mean, these kids should look like all right, when I was in Pennsylvania, let me see, it was in Pennsylvania. Yeah, last time I was there, we went through a town, Amish town. You know, they had the horsebacks and everything. Not horsebacks, but they had the carriages with the horses, everything. They had the little things where they build things. You would think the kids in the zombie apocalypse who haven't grew up on MTV and BET, grew up on all these shows and the internet,
right?
They would behave different. You wouldn't see them doing the same stuff. You wouldn't see all this bullying. You would see people well behaved and on guard. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't be doing things just stupid. Your parents will already tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you would see kids like a picture like a Rottweiler or a Doberman picture behind it. You ain't not gonna stick your hand up to it like here. He almost bit me. You're not gonna do that.
Right.
So I don't think this is typical behavior of kids in a zombie apocalypse.
I don't either. There's no way. I mean, even though Rick is not there, Rick had that talk, like the talk, with Carl when he was super young. When he told him, "You are not safe. No matter if people are around you or not, you are not safe."
Right.
So it seems like those conversations would have happened with those kids' parents or guardians, and let them know, like, have your guard up at all times. You're not safe here.
You're not even kids here.
Right. You're not kids. After the age, once you can walk and talk.
Yeah.
Look at Judith. She even has a job.
Like how everybody's doing the cleanup right now. You need to be right along with them doing the cleanup.
Cleaning up. Unless they wanted it different for their kids and they're like, I want them to just be kids. Like, I don't want them to grow up in this world, so I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist for them.
Well, I think the kids will be a product of their environment. So I don't know if I don't want them growing up in this world would be the words a parent would say.
Right, because they are. They're in this world.
Yeah.
So to act like it doesn't exist just to protect their innocence is actually going to do more harm than good.
They never see a Toys R Us commercial.
Right. Heck, Toys R Us doesn't even exist anymore. It's crazy.
Right.
But I liked it when she was like, say it again. I dare you. I was like, tell him, Judith. So, but he still didn't learn his lesson because he talked shit later on when he saw her in the house.
And I'm pretty sure he broke the toy.
Yeah. He
did. Broke not the toy.
The toy, but the wood.
Yeah, the thing they built.
Yeah.
But I believe in a house, she should have made an example out of somebody. I don't care if he said he didn't do it. She should have took one of those boards and went across her hands.
Yeah, somebody's catching my hands today.
Somebody's catching something. And that way, everyone else, the person who really did it, and everyone else know not to touch my shit.
Yep. I like seeing the Whisper hoarding the walkers. Well, I thought it was a good call for Lydia because I didn't notice it at first. But when she's like, they're being hoarded, like look how they're walking. They're being hoarded.
I noticed they were going around in a circle. I didn't know why.
Okay.
I thought maybe there was maybe some food on the ground or something, but I don't know what I thought. I just said, why are they going in a circle? There's something right there.
Well, I didn't notice it until she brought it up. And then when she brought it up, the first thought I thought was, oh, they're kind of in a sleep, thing, like a trance. That's what I thought she sort of meant. So when they ran over to him, I was like, wait, what am I missing? And then I realized, oh, they're saying a whisper is directing them.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. I was just shocked to see a whisper, especially even after Aaron's nightmare. I didn't think we would see another one this episode, and then we got like several.
Not so soon.
Right.
But I'm glad. I mean, that's just like the Negan Knights. The Saviors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen them after.
Yeah.
In fact, they were still on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Remember, they still tried to attack, who did they
Carol.
attack? Carol, yeah.
Carol and Henry.
Yep.
And Carol had to go back and get her ring.
Yep.
All right, so will the real Stephanie please stand up? Gary made an observation. Why don't you tell us what your thoughts are?
At the ice cream truck, we seen a lady come up, and she was getting ice cream for the governor.
Well, I don't know who she was getting it for.
Yeah, I think it was the governor. What's her name? Carol or Carly or whatever the governor name is. Patricia, but I can name names all day. Yeah. I can't remember. But she was getting ice cream for that, and Eugene looked at her and said, Rocky Road. And that was like a callback to when he was on the phone. Well, not the phone, but the little radio. So right. Radio talking. And the person that he was on the phone with loved Rocky Road, just like he does. So by him saying that, and the lady just looked at him, stared at him, and she didn't say anything and walked away. And you saw the look on Eugene's face. Eugene just followed her with his eyes, like he's like, wait a minute. Like this may be, well, I don't know if he thought this may be the person, but he did follow her. He stayed looking at her.
Maybe he just felt like I felt connected to her.
It was a connection.
Yeah.
And I think that may have been the one he was talking to.
I agree with you. After you showed it to me, because I was like, oh, nothing. And then I looked again, and she kind of did look back and had a little smirk on her face. Yeah. And she never said a word, maybe because she didn't want him to recognize her voice. Right. It's one thing if this Stephanie that he's hanging out with sounds a little different, he would probably just be like, oh, well, you sound different on the radio.
Yeah, we charge it to the radio.
But if he hears the real Stephanie talk, or the other Stephanie, the one that we think is Stephanie, he would actually probably recognize her voice and go, no, that's the voice I heard. Yeah. And not only that, like, I feel it's one of those things they do on a TV shows. They do where even if you don't seen the real person, they'll make the fake person look like the real person. because both Stephanies were wearing glasses. They kind of had the same look.
Yeah, they had the same style.
Yeah, the same style. So even though it's like, well, why'd they make the fake Stephanie look like the real Stephanie if he's never seen Stephanie? But that's still part of when you're trying to trick someone. When you're like, okay, go and be this person, and you dress them up like this person. Does that make any sense what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think you're right. I think we're going to find out that's the real Stephanie. But if this is a fake Stephanie that he's hanging out with, and okay, now I'm going all over the place. But this is what I think after you said it. I think it's a fake Stephanie, and this was all part of their plan to make Eugene, like for her to convince Eugene to go and sneak into the radio.
Yeah, to slip up.
So then they would have something against them. So that's when she's like, okay, you guys, we may be able to get out of this. You guys won't get kicked out, but you'll have to pay a big price. That was their plan all along. First, fear them with thinking they're going to get kicked out and never be able to return. And then really...
But I don't think they care if they get kicked out.
I think they're up to something. I think they wanted them to fear that they're going to get kicked out and go, take that off the table for a second. It's like someone saying, you're getting life in prison. And then go, wait. We can offer you a plea deal. If you do this, this, and this, we'll only give you 10 years. And he's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to get life. Now I'm only getting 10 years. So I feel like that's what this whole plan was in place already. Like for them to get caught.
Okay.
And for them to make them do something in order to not have to be kicked out permanently.
It makes sense.
Rosita's talking with Judith, I thought was sweet. Her going and helping her and everything like that. It just kind of showed Rosita's like, you know, maternal side, her soft side. Like I didn't even know that she and Judith had a relationship. But I liked her talking to her, like especially since Judith has lost so many people, and Judith is such a good. The actress that is Judith did such a good job when she's tearing up. Her eyes are all water, and she's like, "No one."
The whole episode.
Yeah, she's like, "No one here is left. Like everyone's gone, and I'm afraid I'm gonna forget about him." So I really liked that scene.
And I knew Rosita would understand what she's going through because Rosita has lost a lot.
A lot. Abraham, she has Eugene. But she's lost the father of her children, She's lost, she doesn't know where Gabriel is right now. And then all the people that she probably lost before she even met with Abraham.
Right.
And then we have Princess flirting with Mercer to distract him from Eugene.
And it seems like it was mutual.
I think he liked it at first, because when she was like, "Do they have a gym here?" Because oh my god! And then he's like, "Anything else?" And then because he's like, "Princess," and then you could tell she kind of was like, "Oh, he called me princess," and then she was like, "You have really nice eyelashes." And I looked at his eyes. I'm like, I don't even see no eyelashes. He just looked like I've never been complimented on my eyelashes before. But
yeah, it seems like it's a little thing going on there.
I think so. I think if they have them have a scene, I think it would be pretty hot.
Yeah, I think they're going to explore it.
Yeah. I do not want them to have a scene with him taking those clothes she currently has on off. I'll have to see her take a shower, change into clean clothes, and then we get the sex scene if they do that. Because with those clothes,
changing man, you know what I think about changing clothes.
Well, you won't recognize the person.
I don't even recognize the character.
Oh, she cannot stay in that pink sweater all the time.
She got to keep on the pink fur.
No.
She can take everything else off and put the pink fur back on.
Pink fur, no.
It's a movie.
All right, that is all for the likes. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I know.
And then as I mentioned, I don't have any dislikes. I truly don't. That's rare.
Yeah, this was a damn good episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And remember, if you guys like to be part of the podcast, hit us up, dead@theverdictsin.com. That's dead@theverdictsin.com. Or on Twitter @theverdictsin or facebook.com/verdictsin. And here we go. We have an email today from Gloria, a.k.a. Gary's mom.
Hey, Mom.
A.k.a. my mother-in-law. All right, she goes, "Hi, guys, I'm back. I like this episode. Carol didn't want Aaron to go totally psycho like she did last season, and now she's carrying multiple deaths on her conscience." Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people talk about the Carol get like on Twitter. Everyone's like, "Yeah, get advice, Carol, get advice." I'm like, nah, Carol, you had to mourn and do what you felt you need to do your own way.
And Carol still hasn't taken her own advice.
Yeah.
Maybe Carol doesn't want there to be another Carol.
Yeah, that's maybe she's trying to stop it.
There can only be one wild person.
Only one.
Only one Carolyn.
She says, I have a question about one of Carol's and Aaron's scenes. How did all of the Whispers run up from the basement past all of those fierce fighters of Alexandria without being touched? Miss Glory coming back with the hard questions. And that's a good question, actually. Because I thought Lydia ran after them, and maybe they were trying to stop the guy because he's the one that had the knife and he cut Aaron.
Well, you know the crazy part about it is they chased the people out. The guy who cut Aaron, once they had him at the end, once they let him go, you saw when they walked away, all the Whisperers walked back to him.
Yeah, walk back to him and ask him, like, are you all right, buddy? So, yeah.
Like, where were they at the whole time? Were they
hiding
behind a tree? Well, they could have been hiding far because once we walked away,
they were right there.
They were right there.
Yeah. All right, and she goes, that little bully that was messing with Judith, she says, I doubt he will ever change. And Judith, who's little Rick, I doubt she'll ever change. The writers have decided to make them arch enemies. I don't know yet if they're arch enemies. I mean, we've seen them have 2 interactions that were negative, but I think Judith is more mature than him, so I think she'll just let it go as long as he doesn't start shit more, like again.
I don't think she will ever let it go. I mean, he said some pretty hurtful things.
Yeah, your mama left you.
Your mom left you. Like, or maybe if she let it go, she's not going to forget.
She should have did something to where he wouldn't forget. She should have hit him. I mean, not when they were outside.
I don't condone violence.
Condone violence against children, yeah. Well, not when they were outside and she had the knife to his throat, but when they were inside and she found her board broken.
She should have broke some fingers.
She should have took that board and knocked him up. Just a little. But then everyone would have been like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Judith did that. She's on the wrong path, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta teach that one bully a lesson to stop multiple bullies from
make an example.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. So, all right. And she goes, Negan was so close to Maggie. He looked like he could have grabbed her and kissed her, but no way. Just a passing thought. They have this hate need relationship. See, I'm not the only one. I saw people on Twitter also saying that. Like,
they were about to kiss?
Yeah, like, I mean, they weren't about to.
No, I don't think they were about to kiss.
But when they slammed it, when they were in the house, the safe house at the end, before Gabriel and everyone else got there, when they start fighting, he slammed her and they sort of stared at each other. It really looked like they were going to kiss.
It didn't look like it to me. It looked like he slammed her and it seemed like she started thinking about something or thinking that I really need this guy. And not in that way, not a sexual way, that I want to kiss this guy. But I think at that moment, she knew he was right. So it was no need for them to fight at that point.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't go further than that. I mean, Negan, he didn't rough her up too much. It looked like he was mainly just trying to prevent her from hitting him.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
All right, and she goes, Yumiko loves to hold on to her title as a criminal defense lawyer. Not like her brother Tony. He wants to forget he was a surgeon and just be happy baking cakes. I like this scene mainly because Tony, hearing him talk about the baking cakes, and he's like, don't, like, be quiet. If they find out I'm a surgeon, I'll probably get in trouble for not saying so earlier. And then they'll make me work there.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks he's going to get in trouble. But he's probably tired of that life.
Definitely. I mean, just think of the pandemic. So how many doctors are probably... right now, probably just tired of it, in real world. So in the Walking Dead world, if there's probably only 1 or 2 doctors having to take care of all these people, they said they're 50,000 strong. How many of them are doctors? Probably not many. He would be working long hours, just grueling hours.
Yes. Just like Rosita's baby daddy.
Yes, Sadiq,
yeah.
Yep. So I actually kind of understood where he was coming from. And he's like, this is what makes me happy. This was almost like his second chance. And he hasn't seen what's out there. He's been in these walls almost from the beginning. So he doesn't, he hears stories, but he hasn't seen it.
And then there's no benefit right now. There's no benefit of being a surgeon, being a, like any type of profession, being a dentist, being anything. It's not like there's a compensation benefit or any type of benefits.
Yeah.
Because, I would say advancing in life, but you're not really advancing in life. You're basically in a, what do they call the prison that what's her name was in? A cupcake camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what you're at. You're basically in a prison right now. Yeah, you get to walk around there, you get to socialize, but you're not taking no trips to the beach.
Well, I think even if you are like someone of importance, like a doctor or something, there it seems like you would probably have better accommodations. Like they have to give you something for your work, your contribution. At the same time, they may say, "Hey, right now, a doctor is just as important as a carpenter or a mechanic. They're all valuable."
Or a baker.
Yeah, or a baker. We need to eat treats. We need to be happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's not like there's a benefit. Like I don't think there's a benefit of being a surgeon in a zombie apocalypse. Not at all. I think the benefit is now you have a peace of mind. Now he's baking cakes. He don't have to worry about saving lives. Only life he have to worry about is his own and the people that eat his cakes.
Yeah. I do wonder what his rules were when Yumiko said is as good as it appears. He said, yeah, as long as you follow the rules, then it's good.
Probably like basic laws. Well, I don't know because they got in trouble for communicating or being inside a room, communicating with the outside.
Right.
But like I said, it's just a prison.
But we all know that was a setup. Like, it has to be.
Just a cupcake or camp cupcake, like I said before.
Right.
Who is that?
That was the lady that does...
Oh, Martha Stewart.
Yes. I was going to say, I know her name starts with an M, but... All right. My favorite scene was at the ice cream truck. Eugene said to the lady picking up 6 ice cream cones for the governor, that wouldn't happen to be Rocky Road. She looked up at him and walked away without a word. Stephanie and Eugene continue walking and talking with those rubber ice cream cones that never melted. The next scene, when they sit on the bench, they change the cones to look half eaten. I thought it was funny. Oh, Miss Gloria paying attention to the small details. So they had a full ice cream cone 1 minute, and when they sat down, it was half ice cream cone.
I'll tell you, my mom on staff.
Yeah.
part of the writing team.
Well, Gary talked about the production a few weeks back, 2 episodes ago, I believe, where they were kind of messing up. So that was something everyone's like, who cares? No one will notice an ice cream cone smaller, but somebody noticed. What I noticed about that scene, well, of course, the fake Stephanie, I think, but when Eugene handed Princess the ice cream cone, she didn't even say, like, what the fuck, you give me half ice cream? She just took it and started eating it.
And ate it.
Yeah, and enjoyed it. So that was my favorite part. All right, she says, I can't wait for the next episode when they're looking for Connie. Gary and Nicole, you guys keep me laughing, keep up the good work and fun. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And good observations.
Yes, that was a very good observation with the ice cream. I like that. All right, and we have an email today from Chantel. She goes,
hey, Chantel.
Yeah, she goes, hey, y'all, I just finished the episode. I know I need to get it together and stop coming in at the last minute. No, this was perfect. I was so happy that you wrote in. This was a great episode. It was constantly in motion, showed us almost all the storylines. Where is Oceanside? I've been thinking that too. Every time they say they don't have no food, I'm like, go to the ocean.
Probably tired of fish.
Yeah, but man, if you're hungry.
Yeah. I mean, they're eating horses now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get you a fish.
Yeah, if you can eat a horse, you can eat some fish. Gave us backstory and a really precious callback that had me in my feelings. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait to hear what you guys thought of it. All right, she has the Commonwealth. I'm just going to get right into it. That orientation video was cringy and unsettling. It was giving me upscale, Woodbury, public-facing North Korea vibes. I don't know if I said that. Maybe I said it when we were watching. I was like, reminds me of the place of the governor, or I might have said earlier in the episode, but I remember saying that. Like, that. It sort of was giving me governor vibes. At the same time, I like, happy, wholesome. But yes, it was cringy. All right, she goes, the bakery made me think of a story I read in the New Yorker about an American journalist who was allowed to visit North Korea. In North Korea, they have a public face. Grocery stores with fully stocked shelves, bakeries, smiling people. But the reality is that people are subjugated to wild brainwashing, abuse, starvation, lack of healthcare, etc. I know that the ice cream truck and bakery and the smiling faces are supposed to make us feel safe and normal, but it just has me wondering what is lurking beneath. Why will it take so long for them to obtain help for the group? Why do I get the feeling that they can't leave unless they are put out like Woodbury in North Korea? Something is not right.
Yeah, it gave me a Truman Show feeling. Like, most of the people there were just actors. Like, that's what they showed the video. Everybody, what's it called? Stepford Wives?
Yeah.
And I said this before. It showed like the Stepford Wife type video. Everyone's happy. This is the life you want to live right now. The best place to be on earth. But everything from like the ice cream truck, everything looked like it was just so staged. Like, this is what we want them to see right now. And maybe they'll let their guard down and tell us about their people. And we go wipe them out. Or bring them in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But everything just seems so staged.
The thing is, with North Korea and with Woodbury and with Commonwealth, why is it that people put on the front? Why can't it really just be what they're pretending it for it to be? What's so wrong with that?
Well, I mean, hopefully it is.
Yeah. Because
I don't doubt it.
I don't get why to do the whole pretend. And it's like, well, if you think the pretend is so good, why don't you make the pretend real and stop with whatever bullshit that you're hiding? Because you obviously, if you're hiding it, you know it's not good.
Right.
All right, she continues, I'm so proud of Eugene. He understood the assignment. He was processed, given a job and a home, very communist North Korea, and immediately started thinking about what they needed to do to help our group back home. I love that Princess got her $2 bill back. Her assigned job is perfect. She's going to work in the mall. I love that. She was so excited for that, too.
Yeah.
Eugene is a high school teacher. Those kids are going to eat him alive. And Ezekiel is going to work with animals, and I'm willing to bet that Yumiko is wanted in government.
Man, that was a bullshit job.
Yeah, because what animals do they have?
I'm not coming here to work at the zoo.
Right. But what animals do they have? That's
what they need to do is probably have them work on with, like, production plays or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the arts. That needs to live. Yeah, you're right.
But they have them working around stinking. You know what? Let me stop. Oh, they stink as animals. every time I go to a circus or anything, I be like, God damn.
You smell it before you even get there.
Yeah.
She goes, Yumiko's brother is kind of hot, but if he is now a pastry chef, did he lie to them about his prior occupation, or did I miss something? If he lied to them, she outed him during her interviews. Oh, geez, I didn't even think of that. Uh-oh, did they catch it, though? And I'm assuming that he lied to him, because there's no way he'd be like, I'm a surgeon, but I'd rather not do that anymore. And they'll be like, okay, no problem. Like,
yeah,
you know, I didn't even think of that. And he's out of practice, so he probably can't save Ezekiel's life. I still don't think that this woman claiming to be Stephanie is really Stephanie. And I think the real Stephanie was the lady in the glasses who picked up the ice cream for Miss Milton. She had a similar look to the girl claiming to be Stephanie. Eugene was drawn to her enough to speak, and she had a weird look on her face.
Yeah.
She didn't acknowledge him. She just walked away. That has to mean something. Otherwise, why would they show that interaction? Maybe fake Stephanie is Mrs. Milton. Now you're on to something. Because this whole time I've been saying it's fake Stephanie, but I didn't get why. Like, why isn't real Stephanie qualified to do exactly what this fake Stephanie's doing? But that makes a lot more sense. If this fake Stephanie is really like Miss Milton or somebody that's, you know, really higher up trying to learn as much as she can firsthand versus hearing it from the real Stephanie.
Right.
So that
would make sense.
Yeah. Because I kept thinking, yes, I believe it's fake Stephanie, but why? So now that makes more sense. Okay.
But I think my issue with that, I don't think that's what Miss Milton.
Yeah.
Milton. I don't think that's her, because I would think she would have more power, demand more power within there. Because remember when they was getting processed, she was like, yeah, we could let them go. Or whatever, and the guy was like, "No, we had to process them." So I'm pretty sure if that was the real Miss Milton, it wouldn't have been that back and forth. It was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I think he's playing. Well, remember, she didn't say let them go. The host of the orientation video came in.
Oh, you're right.
And said let them go.
You're right.
And at the same time, she's probably playing a part. Do not mess up my undercover for a second. You know what I mean? If I'm playing this part.
You gotta be bored.
Yeah.
But it is a zombie apocalypse.
Doing all this.
But I'll be bored to go out and put on a costume and play somebody.
Right.
Like, hey, just bring me back the information.
Yeah, just let me know what they say.
If they're good, if they come in, bring them in. If they're not, just send them on their way.
Yeah. All right, Alexandria. I cannot believe those little bastards have the nerve to bully Judith Grimes. If they know the story of her parents, they should know to be afraid. I hate bullies. I always have. Thank you, Chantel. We appreciate it. And no one likes a bully. Seeing someone being bullied makes me so angry and I could cry. It is a wonder I never got into a fight because I always stepped in if I saw someone being messed with. Maybe my mouth and my expert use of explicitives scared people enough not to try me. Anyway, when Judith pulled that knife, I really want her to draw a little blood. Nick his neck a little. Let him know she was serious.
Nick. What?
Yeah, I mean, I feel her. She should have did something. If not at the knife scene outside, he definitely should have got those hands broke or a little slap to the face with the wood.
Man, y'all are crazy.
You have to. You have to before this man later on he becomes a guy. I mean, I don't want to go too dark, but
yeah, you're going dark.
No, I mean,
you don't want to go too dark.
He's a bully now. Who knows what he may become in a few more years?
I think y'all went dark enough.
Okay.
There's no darker you can go.
Well,
Nick a little kid.
He
break some hands.
He's sitting here bullying a girl that's way younger than him, way smaller than him, because he feels he has the power to.
Right.
What will he do 5 years from now?
I mean, I agree that maybe there should have been an example made. Maybe, rough him up a little bit, hit him with the board, but nothing serious. No broken bones, no cutthroat.
I wasn't saying broken bones. Well, when she hit him with the wood, something might have broke, but... And she goes, "Do you see her face crumble when she walked away? I can't." The actress that's playing Judith, she just amazing job this episode. I mean, she understands the assignment every single time.
Yeah, she always kill it.
I cannot wait to see where her career, where her career goes.
I hope she don't pull a Maggie. Say, I need to leave. I'm too big for this now. If we can't come to this number, I gotta go. But it's the last season, so she can't pull it. Well, you never know because they have spinoffs.
Yeah, but I think they're done with this. Oh no, they're gonna do the Daryl.
They're supposed to do the Daryl. Yeah, and are they supposed to do a Michonne and Rick?
No, I thought they were doing a Rick movie. Yeah,
okay,
that's why he left.
I thought they were doing a spinoff.
It's a
Michonne
movie
also.
or 2 movies or something. I don't know. It was almost like the Avatar movies. It's like eventually they'll come out. Every year they keep pushing those movies back and back. Man, I remember our baby, she was like 2 years old when the first one came out. She's going to be going off to college when the next Avatar come out.
Right.
All right. And she says, seeing that they broke the handprints.
I'm sorry. But, I mean, it's almost laughable because pretty soon Judith is not going to be, or the actress that plays Judith, she's not going to be able to get kid roles. You're not going to see her playing a kid in no Disney movie or no, like a High School Musical or something because she's already an adult. Like her acting skills, just
she her personality. Really
her personality. She just seemed like her personality is just grown up.
Yeah. She reminds me of a Dakota Fanning. Like Dakota Fanning was like a serious young girl. We've seen her since she was a little girl, and she was, she still was able to play kid roles. But I see what you're saying because they don't hire kids to play kids. Like we just watched House Party the other day. Man, those people look like they were older than me. They were like 40-year-olds playing high school students. One guy, I swear he was pushing 50.
Full force, yeah.
I was like, that man, that's a grown man. That's somebody's daddy.
Yeah, full force. Them guys was built and everything.
Yeah, the bullies. Yeah. That's what it was. The bullies, man. So
you know what, Kid and Play, they were, they looked old.
No, Kid and Play looked too old. They looked older than high school too. They could pass for college, but they still look. I mean, they tried to make them act young, but they definitely still looked older than high school.
Right, but the bullies, man, like they got held back their whole life.
Yeah, they got held back about 20 years. So, all right, and she goes, seeing that they broke the handprints that Carl made for her hand. For her, had me fit to be tied, honey. These assholes have got to go, and knowing The Walking Dead, they'll get theirs.
Oh, y'all are going super dark.
And Walking Dead has no problem killing children.
Oh, they gotta go.
We don't have time for this bullshit in The Walking Dead right now. Like,
right.
All life is precious.
I mean, we mentioned it before. We mentioned that we wouldn't think kids would act like this.
Right.
Especially in this time, because they weren't around during the good old bully days, the good old days,
stealing
where
someone's lunch money,
right,
or something.
doing like just crazy stuff. Like they were doing things that kids would do like at the beginning of zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like, but when the show started, they're in school or whatever. Like Fear. When Fear started, they were in school. So this is some stuff that they would probably do. Well, they were in high school, so they wouldn't do it. But let's say they were in middle school. This is some middle school type stuff. These kids right here, let me think of their age. No, these kids never been to school in their life. They never been in school. The only interaction they have is with the kids there, and they should know better than play with zombies.
Yeah. I mean, because those kids, they were probably born, the bully, he was born pre-apocalypse, but he was probably like a baby or toddler when it happened. In any event, they should be acting better than this. But at the same time, the only reason I think maybe they haven't is if they've been behind these walls and they've been sheltered and they don't know, like Judith, even though she was young when they came there, she still has experience. She goes outside the walls, you know, that she's the one that found Yumiko and them. So she's seeing what's out there. Those kids, they're probably so sheltered. So maybe that's why they're acting like...
But there's no way they could be sheltered. We just had the Whispers burn... What's the Whisper?
Yeah, the Whispers.
Not burn that place down, but yeah.
The Saviors, you're right.
The Saviors.
And the wolves come in,
so they've been around during danger.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. She goes, what a lovely, lovely moment between Rosita and Judith. It was so nice to get more of Rosita's backstory, and it only took like 7 years. LOL. We knew how she went from guy to guy once the ZA started, but we never knew about her life before. It was a lovely moment. Christian Serratos and Kaylee Fleming nailed that scene. It was such a lovely way to show that the absence of her family is impacting Judith. I hope Rick and Michonne come back before this is all over. Seriously. I do too. I mean, they can't end the show without having Rick and Michonne there.
At least Michonne.
At least, I mean, both. But at least Rick, I want
to end the show knowing where Rick is at. But if Rick just pop up like I'm home, we have problems.
No, I'm assuming they're going to come back together. You know, Rick and Michonne. Michonne's going to bring him back. But at the same time, Michonne should have never left.
But we have problems because why did Michonne have to go get him? I mean, is his memory gone? So I wouldn't mind them showing Rick at the end so we know where he ended up at.
Yeah. Maybe we don't talk to Rick. Maybe we don't even hear his voice. Judith comes outside and Michonne and Rick are at the gates, and that's how it ends.
If Rick is there, we got some questions.
Well, I think they're going to want us to watch the movies to get the answers. But that's how it'll end, showing Rick and Michonne come home. And like, oh, and they're like, watch the movies to find out what happened with Rick.
I want Michonne to come back and say, I couldn't find him.
Okay.
Or I found him, but he don't remember. Something.
But he has to, well, I originally thought he didn't have his memory, but he has to have his memory. Because the whole clue that she found that she knew Rick was still there was him writing something about, like, drawing a picture of her and the baby. And Judith.
I thought the clue was like a hat or some boots or something. Wasn't it?
You're right. No, the boots were there, but there was also like a picture that he drew of, or like something about Michonne and Judith. I promise you. Because that's when I was like, wait, so he don't have his memory lost? That's why?
You know, I think you made that up.
I did. I swear. We'll have to go back and watch it, but I promise you there was like something there.
Maybe that was a picture that Judith drew.
No.
And he had it. Because if I'm thinking correctly, no adult could have drew that. Maybe she knew that, he had this picture with him the whole time.
No.
This drawing.
I forgot the circumstances exactly surrounding it, but...
What are you talking about? The thing with crayon or something?
No, it was no crayon. It was like made out of... Like my memory's telling me like he did it out of dust. Like he drew a picture. I don't know. That part I don't... The details are fuzzy right now.
You are actually making this up as you go.
No, the details are fuzzy right now, but... There was a picture of some sort, a drawing, something. All right, yeah, they did a really, really good job. And I still haven't watched Selena. I know you haven't either.
No.
I don't know if it's going to be season 2. It's just too sad. Like, if you grew up on it, it's just so sad. You know, we were big fans of Selena, so. All right, Hilltop. Seeing the state of Hilltop in the light of day was devastating. Seeing what being hungry and afraid has done to the two sweetest guys on the show is equally devastating. Aaron and Jerry are out here losing their minds and torturing people mercilessly. They are in such a state that Carol is the voice of reason. Carol, Lying crackhead, no fucks left to give. Bellator. This is what it has come to, child. Okay, yeah. In right sense, if you're thinking correct, it is wrong with what they're doing. But at the same time, I didn't really feel bad. Like, I'm not saying go dark because the world is dark. You got to try to still see the light. But Jerry saw his wife's, piece of clothing. He wasn't playing. And then Aaron was pissed off. I mean, the guy literally just tried to stab Aaron. He tried to attack Aaron.
Yeah.
So Aaron don't have time for this. He has a kid at home.
Aaron was about to rough him up before that, though.
Yeah, Aaron was. Well, because he was pissed. So you have to remember, wasn't Aaron there when Jesus got killed? So Aaron is probably still pissed at the Whisperers.
Yeah.
The Whisperers killed Jesus.
The Whisperer burned that place down. I don't know why they're still there.
Yeah.
Why are you still here if they burned it down?
Remember, the Saviors did some bullshit like that, too. They have nowhere else to go. It's almost like when people, like, criminals stay in the same neighborhood or, like, come back to the scene of the crime. It's like, they don't know where to go. Like, go somewhere else. Even if it's on foot.
Like, if you're on a run, you're not going to go out of state?
Yeah.
What do you go to the next town over?
Go one town over. Man, I'm on the run. You ain't going to find me. You don't know where I'm going to be. And I don't even want to give no clues on the pod. Just know you ain't going to find me. Oh, she says, I feel so bad for Lydia. It's clear that she still doesn't quite feel like she belongs. When Aaron said that all Whisperers were liars and couldn't be trusted, I can't remember which one he said. Lydia said, what about Mary? I thought she was going to say, what about me? Because that is what her face said. I love that actress. Good thing Carol stopped Aaron from killing ex-Whisperer guy. Now that they know Connie made it. I wouldn't call him ex-Whisperer guy. I mean, he was still doing the whispering stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he still had on costume.
Yep. He still had the costume on.
Some Scooby-Doo type stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see who you are under this mask.
And then when they picked up the other mask, look what we found. Other mask. I was like, this is some weird shit. Like...
Yeah, it was weird that they showed the other mask. Like, it was weird. They were shocked that they found it. You just found a mask on a man's face.
Right.
Wait, you think that's the only mask they have?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's more masks.
Yeah.
And they were actually angry behind we have more masks than they were about finding those people. Like,
yeah, and those people were just standing there. I don't know, they did seem scared, but at the same time, it's like, why are you guys staying here? If there's no food and it's burnt down, why haven't you started moving? You've been moving. You know what's out there because you guys been on the road.
I think now they're in a safe place. They are. They're
that'd be a depressing place to just live there amongst the ruins.
But look how they were living before.
True. All right, she says randomness. Hornsby had a very punchable face. 2. Elijah and Gabriel are both alive. Okay, so we talked about that. Elijah, was he not strung up? I meant to look.
He was.
Okay, so he just got away.
Apparently, he got away.
When Gabriel said, so we wait, and the camera panned to Negan, I said, so Negan is going to die for sure. I think they are telegraphing that. I hope I'm wrong, but,
I didn't get that. I think they panned to Negan because we wanted to see what Negan was going to do when he said wait.
Yeah.
Whether Negan was like, I'm done waiting, or I'm hitting the door. Or that same thing. Done waiting. Or am I staying?
Are you finished or are you done?
But I think Negan sat down because he realized Maggie was right. More people, if these people came, more people may come.
Right.
Gabriel, I think he probably did that, like I said, selfish reasons. We'll wait. I mean, you're not in a position to be out there anyway.
But I do agree with her that Negan more than likely is going to die because he killed off such big characters. And although most of us got used to seeing him now, we don't hate him. Or I don't can speak for myself. I don't hate him as what I did back in season 6, 7, stuff like that. But he still has to die for his crimes, unfortunately. So
what?
Yeah, he has to. So I think they're gonna try to do it in some, weird way, like they did with Meryl. Like he's probably gonna sacrifice himself and, try to redeem. Like, oh, okay, well Negan was bad and he did die, but at least he did this before he died. So yeah, I think he's gonna die.
Well, Negan has already saved them from Alpha, and he saved them from multiple things. Saved multiple people. Like when him and Daryl was out, then he saved Daryl.
It doesn't matter who he saves at this point because, like Maggie said, and I know you and Chantel disagree, but I do agree with Maggie, they may not have been in this situation in the first place if he never came along.
Stop it.
You know? So...
if anything, he made them stronger.
Maybe. But either way, he still has to die. He does have to die. He can't live after what he did.
I disagree with you. I would never agree with that.
Okay. I'm not even saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that unfortunately that's the rules. Like that's what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So.
All right, let's move on because this is getting kind of weird here.
Right. She goes, Negan is not wrong. Everything he is telling Maggie makes sense. It is smart, and if it came from someone else, she would listen. Coming from Negan, it means nothing.
You know what? I think she was on the verge of listening. It seems like she finally got in her head, like, you know what, you're right.
Right before Gabriel
they came in.
Yeah. 15 more minutes, he probably would have been able to convince her.
Well, if they were 15 more minutes late, I think he convinced her.
Well, if they had like 15 more minutes, they probably would have left if he hadn't came. Like, he convinced her, and she probably would have been willing to leave within those next 15 minutes if Gabriel hadn't showed up.
Okay.
Yeah, so if Gabriel came 15 minutes later, they would have been gone. All right, she goes, Angry Aaron is kind of hot, all thick and scruffy. Aaron, I love Aaron. I mean, just thinking about when we met him on the road, and he's just so different now. He's so much stronger. He was so innocent back then when Rick and them were treating him like crap, and he even offered baby Judith some applesauce. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Rick was punching him in the face and shit. So, yeah, I like it. I like this strong Aaron. I mean, but I don't want him to go dark. Like, I still want him to keep the niceness that, you know, what Eric loved about him. I want that to stay still.
Well, I think Aaron was always strong. I mean, anybody that's going out to find people in a zombie apocalypse is a strong person.
You're right.
Especially someone that has a community. Remember, they were, where was he at? Alexandria?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like...
this was Alexandria when it was nice.
Right.
You know?
Before it became a project.
Yeah, it became projects where you had your own home. 20 people weren't sleeping on the floor in your house. Shit wasn't getting broken.
Right.
The only bad person was that lady's husband. The one...
alcoholic?
Rick's girlfriend. Husband.
Rick's girlfriend husband.
And she goes, next week is going to be a Connie, yay! And Roofy guy, eye roll. Yeah. Cosby going to be on that next F. But you know, he's such
a... Quaalude.
The Quaaludes. He is such a big actor to me, and he's really good. So I'm sort of disappointed that they have him playing like a creep. But we'll have to see what happens.
I mean, I think he's playing this role because he is a good actor.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean... he would be good at this role.
Yeah, but I would...
He is good at this role.
I wanted him to, like, join the community and just be, like, a normal guy.
Nah.
Yeah, not like a creep.
Nah.
Or a weirdo.
Nah, it's on the apocalypse. I got my Quaaludes. I'm wilding out.
All right, she says...
This stuff is not illegal right now.
It seems like if you had drugs in the zombie apocalypse, you wouldn't be sharing with anybody. I wouldn't be drugging somebody
like,
else.
Bob.
This is part of my stash, yo. This gotta last me.
Yeah. Be like Bob.
Yeah, Bob had his little... Yeah, Bob was a real one.
Bob was a real one.
R.I.P. Bob.
Yeah, all right. Yo, Bob almost got us killed, though.
Bob, okay, when he got that bottle of alcohol.
Yeah.
And everything like crashed.
Where were they in there?
Something.
Oh yeah, they were in there for food.
They were there for food, medicine, something.
Yeah, get supplies.
Yeah.
Not Bob.
Bob was like, just one little pot of alcohol, ain't no biggie. So.
They didn't take it too far.
Yeah, they were really pissed off.
They was really pissed.
It was like, it's just a bottle, chill. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's because he almost fell. Remember, they thought he was helping. They're like, whoa, Bob did everything he could to save that bag. But then it was turned down the bag out.
Yeah, he was saving the bottle.
Time. Yeah.
Save the booze.
Classic Walking Dead. I gotta go back, man. All right. And she goes, I need to stop here. I really enjoyed this episode and cannot wait to hear what everyone else thought. Oh, she goes, one last thing. Your podcast episode has been on fire. You guys are our faves for a reason. Oh, thank you, Chantel. Thank you. Thanks for writing. Always good feedback there. Thank you, Chantel and Glory. We appreciate you both. Great feedback. We do. Yeah. All right. Remember, if you guys want to be part of the podcast, hit us up, dead@theverdictsend.com. That's dead@theverdictsend.com. Gary, most likely die and I ain't fearing shit. Who do you got for I ain't fearing shit?
I ain't fearing shit. This episode will have to go to Judith. We saw her stand up to the bully. She didn't care what the consequences would be after she took the knife down, because he could have easily beat her up afterwards.
Right.
I mean, she was just badass this episode, teaching the kids how to fight, showing them that, you know, she's not taking nothing for nobody. Walkers, bigger kids.
Yeah.
We saw her feelings hurt, and she was sad a little bit. Judith is a strong person.
She is. And I agree, that's a good one. Although I think I'm going to give mine to Aaron. Aaron wasn't fearing shit this week. And he was doing some dirty work. And I know they tried to make him sound like, hey, don't go down this path. But it's like, are you guys idiots? The whispers keep coming back. They've come back more than once. Just like the wolves, just like the saviors. I don't even see how... I can understand... Well, okay, I was going to say, I don't even see how you give people chances these days. But this is not just some random guy you guys found on the street and you don't know if he's good or bad. If that was the case, yes, I would be on your side for saying, hey, Aaron, stop this. You know, this has gone too far. You don't go down this road. But this is a whisper. Someone that you know for sure came into your community. He's still whispering.
Someone who burned down that community.
Came to Alexandria, tried to kill your people. And whether he was part of Alpha's inner circle or not, if he was so quote-unquote scared, once Alpha died, wouldn't he just want to get out of there? He wouldn't want to be reminded of this place and this part of society he did?
I don't know. I think it's believable. If this is all he know, this area, now he picked up a new trade, hoarding zombies. I mean, you're going to stick to what you know to stay safe. You know nobody's coming back to Hilltop. You burn it down. So this is your home now. Because they're not scared of walkers.
True.
I mean, that's their security right there. You know, the rest of them sleeping, somebody's hoarding.
True. I guess I just didn't really have too much of a problem with Aaron's actions this episode. And like Carol trying to be like, you know, when I went down this path. Carol, when you went down this path, you went down this path 100 times. Don't try to give somebody a speech.
Which time?
Which time are you talking about? Just when Henry?
Just last episode.
Yeah. Come on now. You was about to go crazy right now when they said they found Connie. So, which is going to be exciting. But either way, I feel like Aaron wasn't fearing shit because, like, no, of course no one wants to torture anybody or do any shit like this. But I kind of respect what he was doing because he was the only one that was like, we don't trust this guy. And then the guy tried to, like, literally sliced him, you know?
Yeah.
So, I ain't fearing shit goes to Aaron for me.
All right.
Most likely to die next week.
I think Gabriel's gone. And I hate to say it. Like, everybody know how I love Gabriel. But I don't see him making it back. He's already, he already had to get help getting in there.
Yeah.
He's still bleeding out the neck. You see, it's kind of healing a little bit, but it's still blood there. And I think he was stabbed in the leg. That's why he's limping.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Gabriel because we didn't really talk about that part. The guy, was that Ezekiel? Is that his name? Or what's the guy's name that's with him?
With Gabriel?
Elijah. Yeah. Elijah we thought was taken by the Reapers.
He was.
But now he's like, yeah, we found each other in the woods. So
and I'm thinking, how?
Is Elijah an op or did he get away?
Well, that whole episode, that wasn't a Daryl episode. That was the episode before.
Before, yeah.
And that was the one I said didn't make sense. It was just a bad production. Mm-hmm. Like the people we saw down the field, we see like moments later down the road, here, there, everywhere.
Right.
So it just wasn't a good production at all.
So it's possible they fucked up.
So it's possible they fucked up, but if they didn't fuck up, then I already don't trust Maggie. So I think I'm going to add Elijah to the list.
All right. I'm fully back on I trust Maggie because even when she was like, we wait, and then when Gabriel was like, come back, and he's like, we wait. And Maggie looked like, yeah, that's what we do.
The thing about Gabriel saying we'll wait, he doesn't have an option right now. He's not at 100%. So it could be a selfish we'll wait.
I didn't take it as that, even though I'm not a Gabriel fan.
I didn't take it as that, but just looking at the overall picture, it's a possibility.
Yeah. All right. Well, most likely die. I guess I'll give it to Gabriel as well. Might as well.
What's your reason?
I don't know.
You don't fuck with him, huh?
Yeah, I just don't fuck with him.
I don't fuck with you. Well.
Yeah, so I'm just going to give it to Gabriel.
I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be Gabriel.
All right. Well, that is all we got, folks. Thank you so much for listening as always. We greatly appreciate it. Until next week, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.